What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. You know, what was it, like two or 3 weeks ago? There was this thing in the air about this guy Thumps from up north, and I had said I'm not gonna do anything on that. For what? And I'm not. But today I'm gonna do something on the fact that I'm seeing that there's supposedly, apparently, seemingly back and forth YouTube beef between different podcasts, right? Different platforms. And I'll say this, two of the things that it seems like is the issue is the fact that some Northerners came and did no jumper, and then no paperwork podcast. I've never seen the no paperwork podcast, so I don't know what they do, but from what I understand, they have a following, and so they got to be getting money, right? And this whole thing about these Northerners coming to no jumper, what I don't understand is it was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Gunner and somebody got at us and said exactly who was coming and where they were going. And Gunner and I kind of laughed about it, like either that was already recorded or people just ain't tripping. Because how are we going to hear about it and nobody else, right? We damn sure weren't going to repeat it, because then if something does happen, you got fucking the popo knocking on our doors, right? So we're not going to be a part of all that, but we heard about it. Now, I see that there was some back and forth, or I can't say that. There was something said about Haters World, and Haters World said something back. And that's kind of where, and I haven't listened to what they said about Hater World or what Hater World said back. I will say this. Hater World and I are not buddies. We don't root for each other. But I have to say that dude has done a if not a complete 180, at least a 90, right? Where he used to seemingly be biased. He started doing like hood vlog. I don't know, reactions to hood vlogs on Northerners. He started being more open to what they do on the internet. I'll just put it that way, right? As a businessman, that's brilliant. I've talked about that when it comes to like when Lefty made certain comments in the past. He hasn't made any comments. When any Southern rapper makes any comments where they stick themselves in a box. When any Northern rappers make comments where they stick themselves in a box. I've made comments about it, right? But it is a trip how, and I don't know. I don't know the numbers of these. I know Haters World is getting up there in numbers. No Paperwork Podcast, I don't know where they are, but here's my thing. I've made videos, several videos talking about the first one to tear a Mexican down is going to be another Mexican. First one to tear Rasa down is Rasa. It never fails. He ain't Mexican enough. He don't speak Spanish enough, or he speaks too much Spanish and he don't sound like a homie. He sounds like he's a paisa. It's just like there's an excuse everywhere to dislike another raza, someone who is raza, right? When I see content creators shooting at content creators, usually it's either an unsuccessful content creator shooting at a more successful content creator, or it's a new up and coming content creator shooting at a successful or established content creator. And that makes sense to an extent, to a point, right? But at some point, you have to be able to carry your own platform and not make it about someone else. You're destined to fail if you can't create your own content. Well, it seems to me in this scenario, No Paper Podcast is successful and established. Hater World is successful and established. Both platforms can be affected as far as advertisers willing to be advertised on those platforms when tough talk comes up. I mentioned this before, but again, when you have platforms that are unsuccessful, they don't care about the RPM. They don't care about the CPM. They don't care about advertisers. These two platforms definitely do. These two platforms are definitely invested. And so I kind of just wanted to do this video for that, just to remind these guys, you guys are getting money, homes. When you're getting money and then you get tangled up in the tough talk, you have to remember, let me remind you guys. I talked to a Hollywood producer before about how Hollywood views the Rasa. And when you look at the fallout behind the movie American Me, that put a lot of fear. That put a lot of hesitancy in a lot of people in Hollywood. When you have rappers that are identifying themselves as being part of a particular group that's under another particular group, it makes some people nervous. And that same thing is going to happen with podcasters. If you're making content just to make content, not to make money, not to take care of your family, then I guess you can go ahead and beef with everybody you want and, and just put out content that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see the point. Because that type of content is not enlightening. It's not educational. It's hateful. So, just a message to those who really can get money. Check out your business model. Is it advantageous for your business to allow people who are already fearful of a specific group to have more fear and say, I don't want my company, my business, my name, my brand attached to these type of channels? Because it becomes a trickle effect. And unfortunately, as I said, a few videos back, I said, when you look at white YouTube, it's like flawless. When you look at black YouTube, you have the usual suspects. Wax probably beefing with somebody. 600's probably beefing with somebody. There's a few other, but it's not a lot of people. And so it's pretty smooth over there in black YouTube. You come over to Rasa YouTube, my God. This was beefing with that one. That one's beefing with that one. That one ain't acknowledging that one. But sometimes, and I crash out sometimes, right? And I would be willing to bet that if we somehow, some way could compare the CPMs and the RPMs of white YouTube, black YouTube, and Rasa YouTube probably have the lowest RPMs. And it's because of the negativity. I've been saying it for a long time. Pick the guy. Pick the guy. I don't know where he's going to be from. I don't know. But let's champion somebody let's get them that push, get behind them, get them that push to open the door so that we can follow suit. And that people will see, hey, nah, you know what? These dudes do have talent. They are successful. They can make money. Otherwise, we're all fighting over the same coins, man. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.